Hello and welcome. I am Flat Cap Callum, and these are horse racing selections for Tuesday, the 4th of October. All right, coming up today, we've got quite a bit on the video today. So I'm going to go through Sunday selections. So that was mainly what we had at Longchamp. We didn't do any selections on Monday, so it's a Sunday review. Then I'm going to do Tuesday selections. I've done it as a £20 bet. I was umming and ahhing between 3/4 stake and whole stake, and in the end I've gone whole stake. It's 3 bets, 2 each way lucky 15s and an each way patent bet for Tuesday. And then I'm going to go through a few other things, just go a bit of a rundown of stats because I haven't properly gone through September figures, finish off last week, and just kind of where we are at the moment. So all of those stats coming up. And then I've got kind of an announcement in terms of kind of how I'm going to do the channel going forward, because I've got some stuff, and I'll come to it, changing in my life. So I'm going to have to adapt how I'm doing the channel, because I absolutely want to carry on the channel. But yeah, I'll need to make some adjustments about how I do it going forward. So quite an action-packed video. And so I'll do the review to start with. So review of Sunday, and for those of you, I appreciate not everyone's asked at all about the fact I ran the London Marathon on Sunday, but a lot of you very, very kindly donated. I think we're up to £726.99. That's a few bits of money from my family, but mainly that's viewers on the channel. So I can't thank people enough. That's mega. So without the channel, most of that money wouldn't be going to the Injured Jockeys Fund. I'm going to keep the Just Giving page open till the end of this week, and then I'll kind of wrap it up. So for anybody who wants to still donate, who hasn't got round to it, hasn't had a chance, I'll keep the Just Giving page open on the description until the end of the weekend. And then I will close it off, and that money will magically, I'm guessing, appear with the Injured Jockeys Fund. But yeah, marathon yesterday. Headlines, I was very happy to get round. I did it 4 hours 14 minutes. Yeah, went well. Apart from it, just as you might imagine, it just got harder towards the end, and the mile markers got further apart, is how it seemed. So it was a bit of a struggle. So I was going nicely till about 18 miles. It did become a bit of a struggle. I did manage to finish in time to watch the Arc de Triomphe. So all good there. So yeah, it was good. And at the moment, my feeling is I have no need to run a marathon ever again. I like running; it's one of my things. But 10Ks, half marathons, I'm good with that. But full marathons, I mean, I'll never say never. It'll probably happen again. But right now, I'm not feeling like it. It's just that much further. The amount of effort you have to put in training, and my legs feel absolutely terrible. Last night, every time I moved in bed, I woke up because I was in so much pain with all my muscles and stuff. But I'll put my violin away. We'll get to Sunday's results. So Sunday's result, it was actually a good day. Not mainly, all down to Longchamp. So I did a little Tipperary bet, but I got this 25 on 63.80 back. So the Tipperary bet was junk. So those two didn't do anything. So that was done. But then at Longchamp, it went well. I didn't get quite everything right, but I got enough right. So did these cross doubles, and yeah, had I done the shorter price ones in there, we would have got a return. But as it was, we didn't. So Moss Tucker placed, and it got right down to 16-1. The others didn't. So there's nothing back on bet 2. But then bet 3 was the one that did a decent bit of damage. So we managed to get all 4 of those placed. So Verdani was second, Maestra was fourth, Cour de Pierre was third, and Malavath was second. All of those, they kind of was a little bit of, 2 got a little bit higher. Cour de Pierre was 6-1, but Malavath was a big drifter. I think it was 28-1 at the end. So if anyone did do those SP prices, you'd have been much better than the channel stats for that. But those are the prices I got for the channel. So it was a quad place on that one. And then this one didn't start off so well. The first 2 went down, but then the next 2 did place. So Moss Tucker placed 5th in the Abbey, and then Golden Style 4th, but not all bookies paid out. So it was a place double on 2 of those big prices, but I know not everyone would have got that bit of it. And then on bet 5, Verdani placed, Maestra placed, and Malavath placed, and some got Golden Style placed too. So it was a place treble and 3 each way place doubles. for everyone. And then if you'd got that extra golden star, that would have been 2 place trebles, and whatever that was, 4 each way doubles, 5 each way doubles. So good return. So 25 on 63.80, and as you've seen quite a few times, for those of you regular, it was a day we did sort of 2.5 times the money we put on. We got back and we didn't have a winner in sight. So you don't need winners on this channel to make money. The 2 biggest days we've had, one was 3 winners, all double figures on a lucky 15. The other biggest winning day was 4 horses placed in lucky 15, but all nice double figure prices. And those 2 bets paid very similar amounts. So you don't need winners to make money on the channel. We are playing for places as well as that. So that was Sunday. So just to finish the figures from that, we ended last week. So we only did bets on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 85 on, 77.87 back. So it was end up last week a loss of £7, which is about 8% minus. So given how the first day back I had from holiday, we had 30 on and 0 back to make it back to a £7 loss. That's it's not a bad recovery. I'm happy enough. We'll take that. And then for September, just to give you a quick rundown, from a horse's point of view, we finished 451 on, 895 back, so a profit of 444 and 98. So that's all sports. That's a 98% profit on all sports, because the golf let us down a little bit. So the actual horse bets were 433 on, 894 back, 460 profit, 106%. So the figures for the channel looking really, really good after September. It was a very healthy month for us. So that is grand. And then as far as this week goes, we haven't started it yet. So these are our first bets coming up. But October, we've done 2 days of October, and after 2 days, we're up £22. So that's after Saturday and Sunday. So Saturday, Sunday combined, we come out of that. To start October, we're a day's stake ahead. So even if it all goes terribly wrong on Tuesday, we're still going to end up £2 ahead, because we're putting a £20 bet on. All right, hopefully you're with me on those figures. What have we got then for tomorrow? So I've got an early National Hunt Lucky 15 to start off here. So we got the 115 at Galway, Rolly Bowley Boy, 16 to 1. It's 4th favourite. The other 3 horses look a lot more talented, but their experience over jumps isn't there, whereas that horse has got it. So I can't see that horse being a bigger price than that tomorrow. 16 to 1's best price at the moment, and that's what Sky have got it as. But I would flag a lot of what I've got on these selections. 365 are worse off. So definitely, if those of you like using 365, if you're putting the bets on tonight, the prices do not look particularly good on any of these bets across the board. So I think it's about 10 to 1 that with 365 last time I checked. But yeah, I think it's a solid each way bet to have a go at, because it's got the jumps experience where the other top 3 haven't. So they look like they're better horses on paper, and that horse looks like it in theory is booked for 4th. But when it's got the experience of jumping over hurdles in the bank, I'd definitely take it at that price. So we then got 150 Galway, Daisy Dufresne, 12 to 1, and then the 215 is a funny one really for these sort of bets, but Great Heart Jack 5 to 1. It's a 6-runner race. And I just think that horse is overpriced. It's the kind of horse I'd put it in a win bet or a win Trixie if I was doing one. But it's just good enough to make into this lucky 15, and so yeah, I've put it in. 225 Galway, then Musical Ava. So it's a 20p each way lucky 15, a 50p each way double. I don't think the colours are too clear, but the 50p each way double is on there on Daisy Dufresne and Musical Ava. That's the 50p each way double. Excuse me, I think that's my dishwasher bleeping, if you can hear that. And then Great Heart Jack, just going to stick an extra £1 win bet. So a £1 win single, I should have written single on that. £1 win on Great Heart Jack to go in there. So that's an £8 bet to start us off. So they're all early National Hunty type ones. So that's bet 1. And then bet 2 is 3 unraised 2-year-olds in one bet. So yeah, on the channel I've not been having a lot of luck recently on some of these. They've tended to be running green. but I'm going to have a go on 3 tomorrow that I've had a real look at, and I think there's enough in pedigree to say that they could well run okay on debut over the distance they've got and the ground they've got. So I've done it as a 25p each way pattern. So that's each way doubles on singles, doubles and treble. I've not put bookmaker on there, and the reason being, so that price wise I'm happy with what I've got for Sky. All of these are standard term races, so they're all paying 3 places, and if you can get a bookie tonight paying bog, so have a look around, that would be preferable. I don't think, I might get this wrong, but I don't think they're going to particularly do much overnight. So this could be one, it could be worth holding out until 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, whenever your preferred bookie might go bog. On Sky it'll be 9 o'clock. So it could be worth holding out for. I don't see any of these as price crashers, but I've had to put the bet on tonight for the channel. So I've got 243 Brighton Style of Life 22s, 318 Brighton Cinq de Zane 14s, and 630 Southwell Legends of Leros 22s. So yeah, channel bets on, but I would say I think that's worth holding out, and if you can wait till the morning to do that to get bog, that probably would be preferable than putting it on tonight for bet 2. Bet 1, I think I'd do that the night before if you're doing it the night before. All right, and then the last bet, probably the main bet, because it's got my best 2 for the day on. This is what we're going with. So these are all these are later on basically. It's where it's worked out. So I've got 420 Leicester missed call, and I'll flag the 125 Leicester's a really good each way race. Sky paying 6 on it, but it's a 2-year-old nursery, and I just didn't like the look of it. I tend to steer clear of them because it is pretty much anyone's game. So you'll find some value in there, that there'll be some horses at prices that probably place and maybe even win. But I didn't want it on a form point of view. I didn't like the look, so I've left it. So I've got the 420 Leicester, which is another one that is paying 6 on Sky. Missed call at 8-1. 5 o'clock Southwell. It's gone a bit short, 5-1. It was a bit more when the market's open, but I'm okay with 5s for the bet. Then the 540 Brighton. This is one I really quite like at that price. 16-1 Silverdale. I think it's really overpriced. I'd chase that down to about 8-1 in the market. Then 8 o'clock Southwell. That's definitely a big price. If it turns up on after a break with anywhere near its form from last season, it's a decent price, 66-1 on Storing Star. So I've done a 20p each way lucky 15, 2 50p, and then so this is on the bottom 2, 50p each way singles and a 25p each way double. So it's £6 for the lucky 15, and I'll put a big chunk on extra from a channel point of view, £2.50. So it's an eighth of our stake is going on to 50p each way singles and a 25p each way double. So if most of the other bets have gone down, this is kind of what we're waiting for, and then we can still come, if everything else loses, we can still come out with Soaring Star at the end. But we'll see. But yeah, I think it's a really, really good price to take tonight if you can get it. Again, it's a much short price on 365. But there's a few other bookies as well as Sky paying 66-1. But it's paying 4 places in that race. So yeah, it's definitely worth having a look on that one. So that is the bets for Tuesday the 4th. All right, so that's those. And then as far as channel goes going forward, so what do I need to tell you? So when I started the channel, I've said this a few times, I didn't know how it was going to go, and it's far exceeded my expectations and marginally taken over my life. Because I just thought I'd share what I do, and I hope it started well, and then people might see and follow. And yeah, I'm just bowled over by the amount of people who watch, comment, subscribe, have given me like random donations and stuff. Like it's just it's all a bit unexpected. I say that in a strange way, in that I make money from what I'm doing, and I know that. I didn't know how my cash style and volume of horses was going to go down with people, because I think a lot of people just want a tip or they want a bet, and that's not what I deliberately made. I looked at what else people were doing, and what I didn't see was people putting out like a whole staking plan of volumes of bets, and that's what I've made a point of doing. And it's from a profit and loss point of view, we're over 30%. So I'm betting those on Sky Bet. I get the advantage of some extra places. What I'm not getting is any advantage of Bog. So I'm taking all the prices. So yeah, it's despite the fact of putting out a huge volume of horses and bets, I'm still turning over a very good profit and loss from what I'm doing on there. So yeah, it sort of far exceeded my expectations. And basically, I guess this year, I guess you would say that I am, or I have been, a professional gambler. I haven't had any other employment this year. But I never wanted to be, and that's why when people ask me questions about stuff, I tend to be a little bit coy because I don't want. I guess I was in some ways a reluctant professional gambler. I didn't want to do that necessarily. I make money from horses, and I'm happy that it is. For a lot of my life, it's been a hobby. And just because you really enjoy cooking in the kitchen doesn't mean you want to be a chef. Do you know what I mean? Just because you like a kickabout in the park doesn't mean you want to be a professional footballer. Just because you're good at something doesn't mean you want it to be your job, because the enjoyment goes away. And I'll be honest with you, like if there's a difference between having a bet as a hobby, irrespective of what stake you're using, and then that being your kind of main source of income, because it takes away some of the enjoyment. And it's not a simple, obviously I'm putting out bets and I'm turning a profit. If I could make 30% profit on all bets, I'm doing that on a Sky Bet account, but you have to turn over accounts, and it's not as simple as just scaling it all up in accounts, because accounts get closed and things. So if I could make 30% profit all the time, just by replicating what I'm doing, but doing it on a much bigger scale, then that would be fine. But actually spending your everyday sort of betting it's not that much fun. Like it sort of ceases to become fun, and you spend a lot of time looking at the computer and looking at markets and comparing to exchanges and stuff. And it's not how I want to spend my life, basically glued to a screen doing that. I like being around people. So this year I haven't had any other job, but I took the decision that I wanted to get back into kind of a regular kind of work, basically. So I'm starting a new job tomorrow. And because of that, I can't do a video every morning. And I want to carry on the channel. I want to keep sharing what I'm doing, but I need to do it in a manageable way. And I've talked before, I've got young children, and I want to spend time with them as well. So plan is I'm going to go down to 5 days a week. So rather than the 7 days I've been doing videos, or trying to, I'm going to a 5 day a week schedule. I'm going to mix it up between evenings and mornings, and I'll kind of share the the schedule. So this is what my plan's going to be starting from tomorrow. So I'm going to do videos on Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday evenings, aiming to get uploaded by 10. And then Saturday and Sunday mornings aim to be uploaded by 11 in the morning. So what that means is I'll be covering horses Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And unless it's kind of exceptional stuff like big meetings, then I won't cover horses on Mondays and Tuesdays going forward. So there'll be no selections. But what I'm hoping is then, for those of you who like the chitter chatter on the comments, on Sunday's video, you can kind of carry that basically through from Sunday with your own comments and selections and shares from Sunday's video around Monday and Tuesday's selections. I won't be putting anything on for the channel and then till I get to Tuesday night, but you can then use that video as a kind of a basis to use that to communicate. So I'm hoping people will understand that, because the thing is, I never wanted to kind of say I was a professional gambler, or I was it was my primary hobby or whatever, because I'm not asking or worrying about people judging me like that. All I say is judge me on the profit and loss, and you can see from the profit and loss I do all right. And there's not many channels out there that are making the percentage I'm making and sharing that fact, and equally not charging for it. I've never want to make money from other people betting. I'll take money from bookmakers. YouTube now, pay me less than minimum wage to make videos, but I'm not interested in. I'm interested in helping people who've been losing money. Why would I want to then charge them to take their money? I think that's just immoral. People can choose what they want. They can pay for services. People can charge for their services. I just think when it's a service where basically people who are paying because they're losing money, unless that service is absolutely A1 and you're making a decent money off it, Yeah, and it's the betting industry is full of unscrupulous people. So I'm trying to help people. I don't want to charge people. I'm just sharing what I'm doing, and you know, if the fact I've got going to have a full-time job from tomorrow, as well as me doing tips, changes your view, then that's entirely up to you. I'm just going to crack on doing what I'm doing. But yeah, I don't need to kind of come on with any credentials and stuff like that, because yeah, if I was doing terribly, then sure, surely I'd be trying to justify what I'm doing and trying to and give you all the credentials under the sun. I'm not into that. So as often is the case in this channel, you take it or you leave it. It's there, but I'm really delighted with the bunch of lovely people that we have who regularly watch, regularly comment, and there just is a nice vibe. You know, we had a funny fella the other day who was a bit rude, and it happens occasionally. But as I always say, 99% of people who interact with the channel genuinely, it's not like I'm secretly deleting loads of horrible messages. I don't get them that often. 99% of people are really decent folk. And I think, you know, I feel like I've attracted the type of people that I wanted to attract to the channel, and that's great. So yeah, so hopefully that's all super clear. And yeah, so I'm going to see how the new schedule goes and see if I can fit that around what I'm doing with work. It does mean in the daytime I'm not going to be responding to comments. I'll kind of be responding to comments first thing and kind of later on in the day. So yeah, I'll be working, you know, predominantly Monday to Friday in the day. So yeah, so evenings is when I'm going to be doing more activity, or first thing in the morning. And I'm hoping that what I've put for my schedule strikes a nice balance. So there'll be some people who only watch on the weekends anyway, and the morning will work fine for them. And then for those of people who, you know, I know there's various people. I think Alan's a lorry driver who goes off early in the morning. So some of you are going to benefit from the evening races. The one niggle I've got is, if you do too much betting the night before, it is a much bigger way to get flagged on your account. So because we are more likely to get ahead of some of the prices. So you know that there'll be more instance of me putting a price out the night before and then it not being there in the morning. And if you do that a lot, it is a way that your account will get flagged. So we'll see how we go. To be fair, I'm surprised with my Sky account. It's still there. I haven't been formally restricted. There's certain limitations. I keep checking, and it would limit me, but they've never formally restricted the channel account. So I'm kind of waiting for it to happen. And as soon as it does happen, I'll share with you. But yeah, it's considering where we're at, I'm happy. I'm happy it's still there. So anyway, I feel like I've talked for hours. I'm stopping it there because otherwise I'll have more jokes chucked at me around how long it takes me to do a video. So yeah, thank you very much. So that's all of today's video, and then I'll be back now in my new 10 o'clock slot. That's the plan. I'll be back for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week, 10 o'clock in the evening slot, and then Saturday and Sunday mornings. Sort of feels like some sort of weird radio show schedule, but yeah, I'll see how that goes. All right. Thanks for all the support as usual, and thank you particularly for everybody who sent me lovely messages about the marathon. It genuinely, it's really, really lovely. It's really meant a lot, so thank you. All right. Bye-bye, good night, good morning, depending on when you're watching the video.